First of all, sweat equity. That's a Jalen Rose term. Did you steal that from Sean Marks? You say sweat equity all the time. Who stole that from who?
He clearly watches Jalen and Jacoby. I got to get my guy to come on.
That's right.
And also, I appreciate him stating what you want the club to do. He's out indefinitely, and we ain't planning on using him. So it's no gray area. Now, if something miraculous changes, then you update that at that point. But after what KD went through in the NBA Finals, and I went on NBA Countdown and let the world know that workout did not go as anticipated, he should not be playing basketball in these NBA Finals. He's a competitor. His team was down 3-1. He wanted to come back and make a difference. I applaud him for getting out there and trying it. Now that he ruptured his Achilles, give him this exact time needed to get 1,000% before you put him back out there on the floor.
Well, here's the thing about that, and this might be a media thing, but he said KD is out for the year. Did he mean the season, or did he mean the calendar year? Did he mean the season, or did he mean 2019? Does that mean that Kevin Durant's going to be back at the All-Star break, or does that mean Kevin Durant's going to be back in a year from today in 2020?
You sound like a guy that's been doing this for 20 years, producing shows like Sports Nation and Jalen and Jacoby, Grantland Basketball Hour, and such. No, don't mince his words. The gentleman got hurt in June. He ain't gonna be ready in January. Ain't no gray area.
I'm just saying. If I was the Nets, I would not play him. I would take so much time, especially what happened with him in the finals. Well, the same Kevin Durant, who will not be playing for the Nets this season, had some time to talk to reporters this summer, and he was a little bit critical of the way that the Warriors ran their offense, especially in the playoffs. Here's what he told the Wall Street Journal. He said, the motion offense we run in Golden State, it only works to a certain point. We can totally rely on our system for maybe the first 2 rounds. Then the next 2 rounds, we're going to have to mix in individual play. We've got to throw teams off because they're smarter in that round of the playoffs. So now I have to dive into my bag deep to create stuff on my own, off the dribble, ISOs, pick and rolls, more so than let the offense create points for me. That was interesting. That was, a couple weeks ago, and Steve Kerr was with The Athletic, and he responded. He said he was not at all offended. He even referenced his time in the triangle offense and how deeper in the playoffs, teams start to figure out what you're doing and you have to be creative. Do you think that all this criticism of the Warriors' offensive style comes from the heart, or is this something that we sort of are making up in the media?
Well, what he said is actually accurate, because that's why in the NBA, the best players usually win the most championships. Look back at every era. There was somebody dominant that, whether it's Bill Russell, you progress. There's Magic, there's Bird, there's Jordan, there's Shaq, there's Kobe, there's Tim Duncan, there's LeBron James, there's Hakeem Olajuwon. They're the bad boys. A theme there, right? All of them are some of the greatest players to ever do it. And so, yes, in the first round, it's not as tough as it is in the finals. You make it do 1 pass, 2 or 3 passes, run whatever you put on the clipboard, and it works to a T. But as you advance, the other players get better, bigger, stronger, faster, and then all of a sudden, that's when the level of greatness has to take over. This is why a 4-time scoring champion, a 2-time finals MVP, has 2 championships to show, because he went to the Warriors and they found a way to do both.
And I completely agree with Kevin Durant on this, because if you remember back during the playoffs, after the Warriors would lose to the Clippers, we start criticizing that maybe Kevin Durant has changed their style to make it too much ISO ball. And Kevin Durant saying, look, this is what you have to do. You have to adjust. You play these teams over and over and night after night. It's not the regular season where they don't have as much time to prepare for you. ISO ball is just the natural evolution of your offensive style as you get deeper in the playoffs. I think there's a little bit of him that's sort of responding to those criticisms from last summer, and I 100% agree with him.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.